everybody, it's Annie Cyrus. Welcome to my art studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. Go finish this painting, but I'm sure, or at least I hope, I'll see you at lutfstudio.com.
Hello everybody and welcome to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do share this video. If there was ever a time for you to share one of my videos, now would be a fantastic time. I would greatly appreciate that. I do have a breaking news, but before I get to that, I want to make sure to take a moment or two or five, just in case. I highly doubt you have not heard, but if you haven't, last night on January 9th, we were all hit and shocked by the sad news of passing of Diamond and Silk. I just want to take a moment to send my condolences to Silk, her sister, Diamond's family, their father, and millions of people that their lives were touched by Diamond, by her absolute bubbly personality, the funny character, the strength that this beautiful woman showed us. Absolutely, of course, she will be missed. But at the same time, the first thing that came to my mind last night as I was joining Brandon House on air was what a blessing. I personally am grateful that Lord blessed us by putting Diamond in our lives as an American, as a patriot, as a freedom lover, as someone who cared for humanity. So I feel blessed that I got a chance to learn from her and Silk, being their associate producer, putting their show up on Lindell TV every night, getting to watch their programming, learning from them, from their guests. It has absolutely been a blessing. My heart definitely goes out to Silk. I cannot imagine losing not just a sister, but a sister that is, the partner in crime. As President Trump truthed out last night, there is not a better team than Diamond and Silk. So please keep them in your prayer, especially Silk. I don't know if Silk would come across this video or see this, but I just wanted to say this. I cannot imagine what you are feeling. I won't even pretend to understand what you're going through. But Silk, I want you to know, millions of us out here, we are with you. Our heart goes out to you and your family. And we understand you need to take time, you need to process, you need to grieve. But I personally pray that you come back. I pray that you come back and be with us in this fight. And we're here for you. We are here for you. It's even though it's been a few hours of 12 or 13 hours, but I'm still processing. So what a loss for the country. Beautiful woman. She will not be forgotten. That I know. She will be missed. That I am positive. Her legacy will live on. And let's remember, as I said, how blessed we all are that we got a chance to, one way or another, have Diamond in our life. And as we move forward, let's keep Silk in our heart, in our prayers, and be there for her in any shape and form we can. Agreed, Esty, honey. It is sad. It is extremely sad. Um, and we all have to find a way to make sure we live up to her level, at least get close to her level of commitment, her faith, her trust in our Lord and Savior. She always called everyone to prayer. Remember that. And her love for America, her love for America touched everyone. I don't think even those who pretend to not be bothered or anything, I think they even were touched by Diamond's love for America. So I don't mean to be, um, I need to report on this breaking news. I have to do it. But I did want to take a few moments to talk about Diamond, talk about Silk. I understand it's Diamond and Silk, but I believe we still need Silk to continue teaching us and guiding us and keeping us positive. I hope you feel the same. Um, what a great loss for human society, I would say. As a human rights activist, I feel like human society have definitely lost a beautiful soul. But then, as we all know, believers, she is with our Heavenly Father now. She is in the um, ultimate best place there is to be. So let's celebrate that as we deal with the sadness of the news. Okay. Now let me go ahead and bring you the breaking news I have. I've been covering the Iran deal negotiation almost from day one before even mainstream or even our own government came out and talked about it. I started covering it. This was back in October of 2021. Since October 2021 until today, United States of America's government, or better known as Biden regime, has provided billions of dollars to Islamic Republic of Iran's regime, to IRGC, to Hezbollah. They have almost lifted every sanction they could lift. They have given them so many ways to empower themselves under the slogan of "We still believe diplomacy is the best way to stop the Islamic regime of Iran to reach nuclear weapon." Um, of course, those of us who are aware of the situation know very well that is not true. We all know the Biden regime, neither did Obama, try to do any of this for purpose of stopping the mullahs from having a nuclear deal, but rather this was all enabling the regime in Iran to continue funding terrorism in Middle East or even in Western countries. That is the truth of it, but well, they're not going to admit to it. I have come across a video that is somewhat of a good news, and I understand today not many things could be good news, but I think it's a good news for all humans and specifically for Americans. So let me go ahead and play the video for you first, and then I'll come back and we can discuss further on the video.
President Biden, could you please announce that JCPOA is dead? Can you just announce that? No, why not?
No, a lot of reasons. It is dead. We're not going to announce it. Long story. We're going to make sure they...
We just don't want any deals with the mullahs. No deals. They don't represent us. They are not our government.
So there you have it. That is Biden approached by an Iranian American asking Biden to announce that the Iran nuclear deal is dead. And he says, it is dead, but we won't announce it for many reasons. It is dead. It has been dead for a while now. The first time I said it is dead was when the regime in Iran announced on their media and their press release that they are not going to agree to the last term. They said U.S. is not going to agree to their last term, Iran's term, and on that note, they're not going to sign any deal. That is definitely a good news. That now, excuse me, we have Biden on the record saying the deal is dead. But the question with this video was, what are the lots of reasons? I'm going to go ahead and give you my 2 cents of what are the reasons. Number one, remember, as long as the negotiations are ongoing, the Biden regime can continue giving money to Islamic Republic of Iran, lifting sanctions, whatever is left of, or even go as far as meeting all of their demands. And remember, one of their top demands in last year and some month has been for IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, to be removed from the terrorist list. So I agree, Karen, and I will discuss that in a second. So they will not announce that the deal is dead for as long as they can, so they can continue funding or helping the funding of Islamic Republic of Iran. That would be one of the reasons. The second reason of not announcing that the deal is dead is, if they do announce that the deal is dead, a lot of external or extended deals they're making through this Iran deal will automatically shut down as well. Now, Karen is making a wonderful point here of having him on the record means nothing. He's a lying liar who lies. That is very correct. However, Karen, on this case, I would say if he said it's not dead, it's a lie. Because remember, we have the proof from one end of the agreement, which is Islamic Republic of Iran. They have made it very clear that they are not signing this agreement. They have refused to come back to the table for almost 2.5 months now. The last sit down, while U.S. representatives were sitting in the hallway, and Iran representatives were talking to Russian representatives. Isn't the whole thing is so interestingly funny? But however, the last one was more than 3 months ago, where Iran repeated their demands. And after that, basically went on to say, this is it. We are now renegotiating the last demands. Either meet them or there is no deal. So because we have one side, being Islamic Republic of Iran, very clear. And remember, Iran's regime's mullahs are in a very, very fragile state right now. If anything, making this deal would possibly help them a few days extra in Iran in power. So for them to declare deal is dead makes it a proof that deal is dead. So on that note, now somehow it slipped out. We know Biden is very good at just slipping things out, sometimes on purpose, sometimes not so much. I would say this one a specific case, it's not a lie. Many of the things he has said is a lie, but this Iran deal dead is not a lie. And it is definitely fact that I was just waiting for someone on our end to admit to, because I brought to you when the Iran side did admit to it. I just needed the other side to admit to you. However, it is not official. They are not going to make it official, as I said, so they can continue carrying on with enabling funding and helping the Islamic terrorism in Middle East, because we have gone through these. Iran regime mullahs equal Hamas, Hezbollah, IRGC, Taliban, ISIS, Al Qaeda, all of them. Do pardon me. So now we have this video, and I know, I don't reach millions, but whatever number I reach, I need you to start echoing this. I personally did contact my representative. I left a message because that's all I had access to. But contact your representatives if you can and push for an answer of, is the deal dead? Because if it is dead, as I said, we can definitely get ahead of some of the further support that will be handed to the regime of Iran. So that's one thing I would ask you to do. If you could, please reach out to your representative. But at this point, we need to push for announcements. We need to put with this video, with Iran declaring 100% there is no deal. We need an announcement. We need this to be official so we can kind of sort of make sure the next step of funding IRGC or Iran equals, crime, you know. Because again, I repeat, IRGC is still on terrorist list. Ebrahim Raisi, the current president of Islamic Republic of Iran, under personal sanctions in America. There's so much of um, a crime, basically, or illegal activities going on that we need to get to them one by one. And I will do my best to bring them to your attention as best as I can. But as I said, this was it was important. We have, as I said, one end has admitted already, made it official. Our end now has it at least verbally confirmed. So we just now need to push for official announcement by our regime or official so we can move forward. Thank you. Yes, I do feel a little better, and I will definitely get some of that, Karen. Prince of Peace honey ginger crystals for the cough. Yes, I can definitely get some of that. Um, this is very correct, Hollis. Biden is aligned with China and Ukraine, etc. He's giving all our equipment, laws, and money away. Yes, he is. It's between Taliban and Ukraine and Russia and China and Iran. It's a very given fact at this point. Those who um, deny it are just in deep denial. Uh, I do apologize as I don't know how to pronounce your ID. You said you are from Israel or you're Israeli. And Enoch, I'm gonna go with that. I do apologize if I'm doing it wrong. And your question is, how do you view Iran's support of Russia against Ukraine in the context of the Biden regime war on Russia? Um, well, the Iranian regime, the mullahs, have always been supporters of Russia one way or another. And I see it as uh, an orchestrated war. I call it an orchestrated war. This Russia-Ukraine situation, it has happened before. This is the second orchestrated war between Russia and Ukraine. U.S. supposedly on Ukraine side, Iran supposedly on Russia's side. But it's literally just another orchestrated situation for them to make money. My heart goes out to people of Russia, people of Ukraine, people of Iran, people of everywhere who are being one way or another oppressed um, by this manipulation of big governments. But the governments on top are all playing the same game. I mean, Ukrainian guy, what is his name? Zelensky, or Russia's Putin, or Iran's Khamenei, or US's Biden. They are all they are all on the same boat. That's just the way it is. And thank you for telling me how to say your name, Hanuk. And Bibi moving toward Russia. Unfortunately, recently, with some of the videos and confessions, proud confessions by Netanyahu, I'm not really sure what to think. I am waiting to see actions rather than talk. I'm a little concerned with where Bibi is going, especially again after his admission that he has given, pretty much used the people of Israel as lab rats for the vaccine data. So we're going to have to wait and see what Bibi will do. I do hope his recent discussions about going against Iran's regime and going against Russia, I hope they do. I don't really think I'm going to hold my breath over it, but I do pray that they do. Excuse me. um, so that's to answer your question. Since we only have 10 minutes with our Lendl audience, let me go ahead and wrap up on a few more things on Iran. And then when we come back to the second half with you guys here, I will continue reading and answering your comments. So, Iran deal supposedly finally said by Biden dead. Now, on that note, Germany has announced that they are moving forward to adding IRGC to their terrorist list. So is UK. Canada already did it. So IRGC is being added to more and more of terrorist lists in different Western countries. Normally, this would have been a yay news, right? But today it isn't. The reason I say it isn't is last night we showed a video, which I'm going to show it again here for a minute. I think the video is like a minute or 10 seconds or something. IRGC releasing a new video 2 nights ago, I think, on January 8th. That was 2 days ago. On their official Telegram channel, with absolute, I mean, when you watch the video, you'll see it's a very clear threat towards former and current government officials in the US, a direct threat, right? Here, let's take a look at it before I go deeper into explaining this. There you have it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Wow, that word did not roll out of my tongue, did it? And by the way, the name I left the tag of the channel on it. Sepah is IRGC. There you have it. Putting IRGC on any terrorist list doesn't seem to bother them whatsoever. Doesn't seem to stop them whatsoever. Doesn't seem to slow them down whatsoever. About 2 years ago, no, sorry, I do apologize. A year ago, on January 9th, 2022, they released their first video of direct threat on President Trump, which again, I was the first one to break that news. And a year later, right on the same time, on 1 year anniversary of that one, here it is. And as I said, they have extended the bounty list or hit list from 1, 2, 3, 4% to I think 7 or 8 people. And I will repeat this point. Some of the names on that video are Democrats. I want to remind everyone who thinks this Islamization will be friendly to Democrats because they allowed them in and be enemies of Republicans because they fought them. It doesn't matter. They're not going to sit there and ask you, are you a Republican or are you a Democrat? No, it doesn't matter. To them, these people all played a role in death of Soleimani, so they're all gonna pay the price. Um, they're bluntly and boldly showing all the weapons they choose from, and as you saw in the video, that they will tell when and how each person will be punished. Now, I want to say it is wonderful that some countries are finally putting IRGC on their terrorist list. Remember, President Trump put IRGC on terrorist list here in America. Did that stop them? No. Is Biden regime honoring that? No. We know we have IRGC terror cells here in America. We know more of them are coming through the border, um, um, and they're just standing by, waiting for their orders to attack, to carry out attacks, either on those specific names and pictures you saw, farther into American people. I mean, again, one way or another, however you wrap this, it comes down to their, what do you call it, lone wolves, to misunderstood one, to the ones we didn't hug enough. Yes, I am being sarcastic, using their own terms. Bottom line is, I understand there are so many concerns, and I understand there's so much going on in our country that needs attention. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, please also keep your eyes on this corner as well, the green corner. It still needs our attention. We still need to be very careful of what's going on. I feel like we're a little behind, anyways, as it is, because, again, I repeat, 219 Muslim representatives and officials in America should be a little bit of which one of them is gonna back the Islamic Caliphate when time comes to it, and and we need to pay attention. An Iranian Muslim in Germany was arrested yesterday, I believe, with some chemicals in his apartment. He moved to Germany in 2015, apparently. A huge fan of ISIS. ISIS. With chemical planning, his original plan from his chat and phone is he was planning to do something on New Year's Eve, then decided to postpone it to another time. Thankfully, he's been arrested. The news is a little scattered at the moment, but there you have it. One person. You have the attacker of Salman Rushdie, who's American, born to a Lebanese family, dedicated or fan or follower of IRGC, trying to carry out a order by IRGC. Point is, these attacks are gonna keep on going one way or another, and we don't have a government that is going to neither protect us or care to protect us. If anything, they prefer to protect the enemy. They prefer to protect IRGC and the mullahs. I mean, how many times did you hear our government here in America during this revolution in Iran mention that, they are with the people of Iran, but they're going to continue negotiation, because right now, in the middle of a revolution, it's important to stop the mullahs from building a nuclear bomb. It's such an irrational response. So you're like, who's believing this? But then you look around and you see many people are still believing it, concerning a little worrisome, if you might. Okay, I'm gonna close with our audience on Lindell TV to the original note of where we started. Thank you for staying with me until now. I know, especially Lindell TV family, is in grave mourning today, missing Diamond, praying for Silk. I want you to know that I understand. And before I leave you today, I want to encourage you to look at what happened yesterday. And I feel like even with her goodbye, Diamond is teaching us more and more lessons. This is life. We always say life is too short, so leave the best of it. but today we definitely can see how young Diamond was when she said goodbye to us. So let's as we pray for her, for Silk, for their family, for everyone um, affected by this sad event. Let's remember life is short. Live up to freedom. Do it. And if you see your freedoms are not there to live up to them, bring them back. Take them back. Fight for them like Diamond did. Thank you, Lindell TV audience, for being with me until now. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Keep praying for um, Silk. Keep praying for Silk. Be there for her. Send her all you got from the bottom of your heart until we get to have her back with us, which I pray that is soon. Um, Rest of platforms. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to take a 1 minute sponsor break, grab a sip of my drink, and I'll be back with you guys, okay?
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. Years ago, when I invented My Pillow, I was faced with every adversity you could think of. No retailers wanted to sell My Pillow. That's come full circle. Vendors took advantage of me, and I was copied by China. Well, by the grace of God, I was able to get through all that and learn from it. I have a passion to help other U.S. entrepreneurs, and that's why I created my new platform, mystore.com. We have hundreds of products from amazing entrepreneurs, and to celebrate, I'm going to put My Pillows on mystore.com right now. You can get my standard My Pillows regularly $69.98, now only $19.98 with your promo code. Or you can get my standard queen size, regular $79.98, now only $29.98. Or you can get my premium king size, regularly $89.98, now only $34.98. So go to mystore.com and use that promo code on your screen to get huge discounts on all My Store products. Thank you and God bless.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me. Those of you who did stay with me. It would be greatly appreciated if you would go to any of the um, sources or platforms that could help me continue doing what I do. MyPillow.com, mystore.com, promo code AC21. You can go to my artist studio, lutfstudio.com, lutfstudio.com. Use the promo code Frank. You get discount while supporting my work. There's the PayPal link. There's the mailing address. There's the general website of liveuptofreedom.com. And yes, Karen, I agree. Diamond did truly live up to freedom in spite of all of the hate and the troll. Sorry, I can't read that one. She faced from her own community. She stayed the course. She will truly be missed. Agreed. Yes. She will be missed. But as I said, I really hope that we keep her in our heart and mind as we continue fighting, because there was a lot that she taught us. All we need to do is remember them. And of course, let's remember, even though, as I said, it was Diamond and Silk, but we're still blessed to have Silk with us. So that's another thing that I want to make sure to emphasize on. Back to the Iran situation. So we got IRGC. Todd Bensman has reported that our border situation is getting worse and worse. It is becoming absolute disaster. At this point, they're using loopholes in the system to literally turn it into absolute proper legal process to just import people into the country. And based on his own travels to the border, there is a campaign, not campaign, what do we call it? Camp for the Muslim refugees. Refugees. And you got the Chechens, and you get the Tajiks and Uzbeks and Azeris, and all there ready to come in. I don't know necessarily if there is a quick fix to any of these things we're talking about. But what I do know is our Constitution is still in place. And with enough number of Americans who are willing to make sacrifices, compromises, get a smaller check. I don't know, whatever it might be. Enough signatures, enough faces shown, enough voices heard. Some of these are reversible, as we discussed it yesterday. Going into state level for some of the laws that are state based and not federal based, but which comes back to the fact of we really need to educate our fellow Americans on the Constitution, because part of the problem is a lot of Americans, unfortunately, aren't familiar with the Constitution. They know of it. They all know the First Amendment. Funny enough, sometimes they can't even name all the articles of First Amendment. It's just freedom of speech and freedom of religion. I'm like, no, there's way more to it than just two. Everybody knows about Second Amendment, maybe Fifth Amendment. We're lucky if somebody knows about Fourth Amendment, and rest there, ends there. Hi, Christopher. So good to see you. Let me address this. It is sad that this is even a question, but let me go ahead and address this. I saw the comment is, I saw a lot of fighting about this today. Was she jabbed or not? The fact is, and this is not toward you in general on social media or cyberspace, if you call it, the fact that this is even a question sometimes makes me go, no. She was a strong advocate against jab, and she wasn't jabbed herself. That much I can confirm 100%. But it shouldn't be a question. I don't know who started this yesterday or last night at some point. But whomever did, I do pray that they stop. I saw a couple of comments on my own post last night asking, no, she wasn't. But that doesn't mean much. Remember, not to get into too much detail but there is the case of shedding, remember. And just in case if you're not familiar with the concept of shedding, you may want to go to the wordweweekend.com, look up some of Brian House's videos with Karen Kingston, Dr. Lee Merritt. Just go check those out. You know what I'm talking about. I can't get into details here. Anyhow, so yeah, that is a story that we can think about. But the jab itself, no, definitely not. Okay, guys. Where was I? I lost track of what I was saying, didn't I? That's all right. It happens. I am not strangling myself, by the way, if anybody thinks my throat really hurts. So I'm just kind of keeping it, I don't know, in place, I guess. It's just a mental thing. Back to, we need to educate our fellow Americans on I'm sorry, let me address this one more time. Hollis, Diamond of Diamond and Silk passed away last night. There are no details on what has happened. The only thing we do know for fact and confirmed is she was at home in North Carolina, and Silk was with her until the very last moment. That's all the confirmed information I have and I can provide. So it was Diamond of Diamond and Silk, but I don't know the cause of death yet. But I promise as soon as I do have that information, I will come back live, even if it's today, and share that information with you. But as of right now, I don't have that. Don't have confirmation. I have a lot of rumors, but I don't have confirmation. Yes, me too. This is so strange. As last night, while I was putting the shows up on Frank's speech, as I do every night of the week, even though it was almost like a week that we were doing best of Diamond and Silk, but just knowing that last night specifically, instead of a Diamond and Silk episode, I was posting the tribute to Diamond. I don't know, which by the way is that video is up, so you can go to frankspeech.com on the homepage. There was a 1 hour tribute that Brian House hosted, and some of the people closer to Diamond and Silk joined him either via phone or Skype, and it was a 1 hour. So if you want to catch that, you can go to frankspeech.com and watch it. But yes, Hollis, it does feel so strange that there won't be. I mean, there will be. I am praying that Silk will be back, but just no more Diamond on a screen. It's a strange feeling. But again, it should just be that much more of motivation for us to live a better life. You never know when you're called home. And it's a beautiful moment, for some of us. We look forward to that moment where our Father calls us home. But those of us left here to miss her, it's a good time to think of. We don't know when we are leaving, and let's make the best of our calling here on earth. On that note, let me go back to, we need to educate our fellow Americans on the Constitution, because I do understand, and I do agree that huge part of the huge part of the problem is when you're not aware. Somebody told me once, said, how do you want someone to practice their freedoms if they don't know what they are? And that's very true. Me myself, when I came to America, took me a while to even understand the concept of you're free. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, oh, I don't get to wear the hijab. No, there's way more than just that. Oh, okay, let me study the Constitution. I don't think I would understand my freedoms if I didn't study the Constitution the way I do today either. So we need plans to do some constitutional education. I don't know, maybe just put a copy of Constitution in your purse or car, whatever, and hand it to people. The problem is, I don't think handing it, I don't know. Do they read it is the question. I don't know. I don't know who you're referring to for the too much Chinese TikTok. Here's the thing. This is a little sidetracking from the concept again, but that's me. You know how I do. I go and then come back again. Pretty much 99.9% of apps we use nowadays on this device called our phones, it's one way or another a tracker, a face recognition, all of that stuff. So it's just given, like, we have accepted that part of our life will be monitored. And I mean, honestly, nowadays the only way to not be tracked or traced by the elite and globalists is find a cave and go in there, because simply just having internet is enough. Yeah. A lot of people think VPN is the way to go. No, my entire system was hacked and accessed by IRGC while using a VPN, actually. Yeah, no, we're just, it is what it is. We have accepted the term that every regime has eyes on us. The main ones: Russia, China, Iran, America. They all got eyes on us. I agree with you, Chrissa. A lot of people have a short attention span, so Constitution videos in short form style series probably be the best way to go. Yes. Yes. I think just breaking it down into articles, one article at a time per video. Well, we'll come up with something. But I am genuinely concerned with what's coming as to 2024. I will not sugarcoat this. I honestly, guys, 2024 could possibly, tangibly, and genuinely be the very, very last time in United States of America that we get to possibly vote. Could be. And it has happened. Um, it has happened in too many countries for us to think it will never happen. So I feel like there's a good solid, hold on, 2 years. Oh well, a little less, 2 months short of a 2 year. We still have a good chunk of time to go to our local state government and try to make a difference. We have to. There's no other. I mean, there are other options, but I don't want to take those options as options. You all understand what I'm saying. Um, uh, yes, Lane, I was talking about giving the booklet and not sure if they will read it or not. And yes, we still need to give it to people, but it's been proven that if somebody sits on a shorter videos, if you remember, I had a series called Any Time of the Day where I would just do one verse of Quran, and that actually started teaching people a lot more than me doing a full, go read the Quran preach. So on that note, I know it works better when you keep it in like minute, 2 minute, just quickly explain it, move on to the next thing, tend to work better, which I am not encouraging that attitude. It is not good that we have short attention span, especially because that's how the news cycle is distracting us. We get one shiny object here, the next one comes and we forget about this, and that's how they manipulate. That's how media has been manipulating Americans, or majority of people in the last, I don't know, 10 years, especially 5 years. It's like jing 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 jing, next one, next one, next one, next one. And all the other apps such as Instagram and Twitter and TikTok don't help with the fact that it's like minute and a half limits on posting something. So it's just more and more training human minds to be, paying less and less attention to anything. I personally do my very best not to give into that training. I still do my reading a book and watching a full length video. And I'm still pretty good at paying attention to, or at least multitasking, if you call it, because I know how this all work, or I know how they do the manipulation. There is one more report. There's one more news I want to talk to you about. This is, I don't know how many of you are still remembering, or if you're even familiar with Anjem Choudary. Anjem Choudary is the British Islamic cleric with a long, long resume. I do apologize. Long resume of support for Islam. One thing I will say about Choudary is he has never been one of those Islam is a religion of peace guy. He has always been blunt and honest about the truth of Islam. He has always preached it the way it is. He has preached for ISIS and Al Qaeda and Hamas. He has been one of the rare honest clerics, if we could call that. He has served prison time in UK for funding terrorism. Now, why is he set free on the streets of London? I don't know. On this article on Jihad Watch puts it the best. Let me read this line of it. By the way, this article is published on Jihad Watch if you want to go read it. But this man lives in Britain with only token restrictions on his activities. Meanwhile, foes of jihad violence and Sharia oppression of women are barred from entering the country. Sorry, barred from entering the country. Yes, Britain is suicidal and the oppression is nearly complete. That's the best way to put that. Like, you have Anjem Choudary walking around in England. Why? Like, he has served prison time. He has been very honest. He's always said he wants to turn UK into Sharia-obeying country. He has always said he's pro-Islamic jihad. So what are they doing? I don't know. But here's the most recent Anjem Choudary scandal, shall we call it. So Prince Harry, on a recent awakening video, said that he has killed about 25 Taliban soldiers while in Afghanistan as a parachute pilot. And Anjem Chowdhury has apparently taken this very hard and upset about it. He has come out and responded to this, as he calls it, confession. And here's what Chowdhury has said, that Prince Harry is a Muslim killer. Taliban. You all realize Taliban are, well, they used to be considered terrorists until all of the governments accepted them as a genuine government of Afghanistan. But apparently now Chowdhury thinks that Prince Harry is a Muslim killer, and Muslims should start killing British troops in retaliation. It is so sad that I'm not shocked at all. It's like we're becoming numb to this, aren't we? Anyways, yep, that's what Chowdhury suggested. As of right now, Chowdhury is not arrested for making such suggestion. Chowdhury is still free citizen in Britain, even though everybody who is familiar with Chowdhury's background and activities knows that Chowdhury's followers are out there looking for troops now. Like, Chowdhury doesn't put out a call that doesn't need action. So, but as I said, he has not been arrested. He has not been questioned. He has not even been bothered. But let's not forget, when someone like Tommy Robinson tries to cover the truth, gets arrested, gets harassed, his family, himself, they barge into his house and put him on handcuffs. I just figured, since it's been a while that I have touched in UK, Britain, a Great Britain, I should probably bring it back as to what's happening there. It's, the hypocrisy is still ongoing, and Chowdhury gets to say, because Prince Harry killed 25 Taliban terrorists, he's a Muslim killer, so now Muslims go kill British troops. The logic is, of course, the Islamic logic, but it's amazing that his nobody's even bothering him. Like, it's kind of, it feels like it's given now. Like, if you're a Muslim, if you're a famous Muslim, if you're a popular Muslim scholar who already served prison time for openly and publicly supporting Islamic jihad against non-Muslims, then we just don't bother anymore. You just go out there and put out bounties on people. Why not? I mean, this is why on Jihad Watch it's mentioned that Britain is suicidal. That's what it is. Well, hello, Ace. It has been a while. I've been back on my live streams for a while now, but we've been missing you. It's good to see you. It's lovely to see you. Exactly. Not so great, Britain. In last couple of years, I would say a decade. Yes, Chowdhury most definitely knew and still knows how to work the system. But I don't think Chowdhury is the only person, Lane. This comment is by Lane. It's almost all the Muslims. I mean, come on, let's quickly look at what is going on in UK for, as I said, last decade. I mean, from the grooming gangs to sex trafficking gangs of Pakistanis and Afghans and Muslims, to bombings and terror attacks, to Chowdhury. You see, it's the problem is when there is a broken system, working it isn't that hard. Now, mind you, I'm not in any shape or form saying that we're far behind, like we're far better or whatever the term is. We're right behind Great Britain. Like our system is just as broken as theirs. Ours might even be worse when it comes to, Islamization. We're this close to passing a anti-Islamophobia bill thanks to Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar here. Well, technically, thanks to us not pushing back. Yes, Ace. I've been dealing with this cold for a couple of days now. I will most definitely take your remedy there. We're right behind UK as far as this working the system goes. We're not that far behind, but it's just, as I said, I saw the headline on Jihad Watch, which I check Jihad Watch about twice a day. One in the morning when I get up and have my coffee. One early afternoon, I check on to see what's happening. Yes, ma'am, Krissa. I personally, as you know, I traveled all the way to Canada to give a speech about M103 when it was only a motion and not a bill yet. It went nowhere. It went over. It was what, 17 of us? That thanks to Act for Canada putting together a huge seminar, we all came over and gave a speech on why Canadians should make sure this motion in 103 never ever becomes a bill, and boom, it still became a bill, which is pretty much kind of a blasphemy law just for Islam only, though. Like, you can mock Jews, you can mock Christians, you can mock everybody except Muslims. You say anything bad about Muslims and you shall be punished. Yes, I love Robert Spencer as well. That's why I check his website, jihadwatch.org. Very reliable source. Anyhow, when I saw the headline, I'm like, oh, look what's up. UK seemed to be, for a while, Chowdhury was keeping quiet, but now he's back. Watch out, UK. Chowdhury is at it again. We've tolerated ourselves into this mess. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And that's why since the first day of 2023, I said, I will not tolerate, I will not cover up, I will not sugarcoat, I will, whomever the person is, I will call them out. And I have in the last few days, what is the 10th? In 10 or not 8 days of coming back, I have called them all out because I'm done. I'm not tolerating anymore. Well, if I'm tolerating what's poison for me, then I can't do that. And yes, Ace, I'm with you. You mock anyone that deserves it. It's equal opportunity. As I put it, as the First Amendment gives me the right to be offensive and gives you the right to be offended. However, it doesn't give you the right to physically assault me or attack me just because you're offended. That's where we draw the line with First Amendment. Okay, guys, I am out of time. I gotta wrap up here. I gotta head. Well, I gotta get the day going, right? But I did want to join with the breaking news. Those of you who joined a little later, you can go back and watch this again. But Iran deal dead. Finally, Biden said it. That's a huge deal. Now we just need to push to get it officially announced. That's all. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Yes, I hope I do feel better too, because this throat is not, it's not easy to talk with it, which is not good. I will be back for sure tomorrow. Don't know what time exactly. We're kind of, testing time at the moment. Excuse me. Wow, that sounded terrible. It sounded worse than it felt. No, actually, it feels just as bad. So remember, YouTube, ACU News is our channel. Facebook, I know Zany Cyrus. Website, liveuptofreedom.com, liveuptofreedom.com. Lindell TV, frankispeech.com. WBW-TV, WordWeekend.com. These are the platforms that you find me every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes maybe Saturday and Sunday, depend on the week. LiveUpToFreedom.com, however, is where you can find my art link. You can find my sponsors. You can purchase items, use promo codes, and that way support me, because as you know, this fight is not free. Thank you so much for your prayers. And for the remedies, I will do all of that. On the very last word again, please remember, pray for a Diamond, pray for Silk, pray for their family, their father, everybody affected with yesterday's sad event. And let's make sure to honor Diamond by following her footsteps in her commitment to her faith, country, and freedom and human society. You all stay safe and stay vigilant, and I will be seeing you sometime tomorrow. God bless you, and God bless America. Goodbye, guys.